Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here, Brother Brand Ambassador, and we're super excited to see you. So we are streaming today on Brother Sewing and Crafting, YouTube and Facebook pages, and we're live in the chat because you know where Sara and I are today. We're actually getting an experience of all the new fabulous products that are coming out. So in the meantime, we've got a fun project for you. So let's bring up Sara Vetser. How are you, Sara?
Hi, Angela. Doing well, doing well.
Doing well. As summer is here, I can't wait to see your projects. Before we go, though, I have to ask, and I know all the brother fans want to know, how's your garden doing?
Oh my gosh, it's so good. All the tomatoes are just exploding right now, and they're going to be ripe really soon, and I'm going to have too many tomatoes real quick.
I wish I lived closer. I would come over and have some.
Yes, I would love to share.
So what are we doing today?
So because this live is airing mid-August, I was thinking kind of about back to school. I know we're still in the swing of summer, but back to school is approaching really quickly. So my thought is we're going to do some crafting stuff, and we're going to make some water bottle stickers with...
Oh, that's cool.
So much fun. I love stickers. Stickers are like the craft equivalent of patches, wouldn't you say?
I would say, and if my nieces had anything to say about it, they're twins and they're 6. I was going to say 7, but they're 6. And every year on their list, all they want are stickers. So if I can learn how to make some cool stickers for the water bottles, they're going to love me even more.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to teach you right now. It's so fun. I mean, I've just been seeing them everywhere, and especially with water bottles. And it goes hand in hand with back to school because all the kids are carrying around water bottles. My cousins have water bottles that are bigger than them. Like they can barely lift them, you know. And they have all the charms on them and all the like fun stuff going on. So I was looking around, looking for inspiration. I saw the name labels. Again, you have to label everything you send the kids to school with, right? Because it'll get lost. And I just knew that we can make these, and we can make them really well with Artspira, with the Sublimation printer, and with our ScanNCut to cut them out perfectly, because I definitely can't cut perfectly. I need the ScanNCut for that.
This is going to be exciting. So we've got Artspira, ScanNCut, and Sublimation. So everyone get ready for some fun. Sara, I'll let you take it away.
Perfect. All right, let's start with the Artspira app. There are new features all the time with the Artspira app. I feel like I'm always doing projects using this app because it's so fun. It's so easy to use. There's so many different patterns and designs on there. And like I said, they're just adding new features all the time. So my head is cut off a little. There we go.
Now we can see you.
All right. So what we're going to do, and I always say this as well, is like there's so many ways to use the Artspira app. I'm going to try to focus while we're on here and just show you guys some printing stuff. But of course, you can use this with your embroidery machine. You can use it with the ScanNCut, the Sublimation printer, and the Printmoda fabric printer. It's compatible with all of your wireless Brother machines. So if you have multiple machines like I do from Brother, you're in the Brother family, then the Artspira app is a must-have because you could just get so much more out of those products using this app. So we're going to go to New down at the bottom, and we're going to go to Printing, which is already selected because I've been playing around on here, testing out my stickers. And let's select the Design Editor. So first, it's going to ask you what you want your design area to be. If we were printing on the Printmoda, we would have a fabric roll, so we can print up to 3 yards. For the Sublimation printer, we are limited to 8.5 by 11 because Sublimation paper comes in 8.5 by 11 sheets. So under the Sublimation paper tab, which is the first one at the top, or section rather, I'm going to select Letter and press Done. And now we have the whole page of Sublimation paper to fill up. So I just stuck with circles mainly for my names because I wanted to play around with the patterns that are included in the app. And you can really fill the circle with a pattern and then add your initials. I know sometimes we don't want to put a kid's full name. So initials work really well with this as well. And then you get to really like see the pattern. Like this is my favorite chicken pattern. You see my little chickens. There are florals, stars, pretty much anything you could hope for, you're going to find something for everyone in the pattern section. So I felt like the circle shape just lent itself really well to this project. I know it's a little bit basic. There are other shapes you could play with as well. So I'm just going to select design down at the bottom of the screen and go to the basic shape menu. So these are the basic shapes. Oh, first it brings up my favorites. Then I'll tap basic shape. These are the basic shapes that are available now. So lots of good ones here. Again, I'm just going to pick the circle. So tap on it, press done. It's been added to my design area. I'm going to tap on it and it's going to show me what the dimensions are straight away. So it drops in at around 4 inches. That is a little bit big. So I'm going to size it down and I'm just pinching with my fingers to about 3 inches. And you could do this with your fingers. You could also enter the dimensions in the layout menu. So we have height and width. You can type in exact dimensions. If it bothers you that it's 3.04 and you want it to be exactly 3 inches, there you go. You can make it perfect. So a new feature that's been added is a tiling and duplicate and multi-select. So we're going to play with all of those right now as well. There's a little ellipsis. You see the trash can. Right next to the trash can, there's an ellipsis with 3 dots. I'm going to tap on that. This is your More Tools menu. And here's multi-select and duplicate. So if I select duplicate, I can just put in how many circles I want on my page. Or if you want it to look nice and neat, you can go to Tile. And you can tell Artspira how many you want going across and how many you want going down. So I'm going to do 2 across and 3 down. And just like that, it duplicates it for me. And the whole page is full of circles. And I would say this is the maximum amount of circles I could fit on this page. So we've maximized our space. I'm going to tap away. That deselects everything. Then I'm going to select one of them. And let's go to fill. So here you can fill it with a solid color. You can fill it with a gradation. Those are really fun. You can also change the line color and thickness. Or you can go to the pattern menu and you have so many patterns to choose from. If you have the Artspira Plus subscription, you'll have the most patterns to choose from. If you don't, there are quite a few free ones that are really fun. Select one that you want to see, and it fills in the circle. And we have a really great bulldog right in the center of our circle there. That's so fun. So I'm just going to go around. I'm going to keep filling these with patterns. They do take a second to load sometimes. And so many different options, florals, there's sea creatures, there's seasonal designs. This is more of like a winter design with some hats and scarves and gloves, animal prints. So I'm just tapping the circles, selecting different fills that I want to use, jellyfish, fruits. Do you have a favorite pattern on here, Angela?
I don't, but I'm watching all that you're doing, and I was like, oh, I'm seeing some new ones that I haven't seen before. But you know what I really like is how you can quickly add those circles and they're spaced perfectly.
I know. The perfectionists in us love that.
It's so simple.
Yeah, really easy. It looks great. So I tend to try and choose patterns that aren't too busy because you can see the text easier that way. But I do have a trick. that will help you use busy patterns and still be able to see the text really well, because I certainly don't want to limit you to what patterns you want to use. All right, we need one more here. I love these smiley faces. Okay, so just like that, I filled all of these circles with these really cool patterns. And if you are making this for your kid, your grandkids, you can have them pick the patterns themselves, and it's totally customizable and super fun to do. So next thing I'm going to do is add some text. I'm going to add my name. Now, text is another big update that they've had in Artspira. There are over 300 fonts available now. I mean, it went from like 15 to 20 fonts to 300 fonts, and it's really exciting and really fun to play with. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see my text a little bit better. And I'm going to go to the font menu. So first off, it has the font that's already selected. The default is Bakery. And then it has the size of the text. So again, you can just pinch with your fingers to make it bigger, rotate it, drag to move it around. Or if you want a very specific size, you can press the plus or minus button next to size. And you can also space out your characters. So if you want the letters farther apart or closer together. So if I select Bakery, the font that is defaulted here, it's going to open my font menu. And I usually don't get past B, right? I said there's 300 fonts in here. And I mean, I'm just being honest. All the educators were talking about this the other day. They were like, what's your favorite font? I'm like, I have not gotten past B, okay?
I'm with you on that. Yeah. I think I made it through all the A's, and usually I don't even make it past the A's. There are so many. I should start at the bottom maybe and start going backwards or do random scroll.
At some point, I feel like I just have to sit down and look at them, because there is a favorites menu. So if you see a font you really like, you can save it, and then I would be able to work off the favorites menu. But anyway, I mean, you can usually find what you need in A and B.
Right. Who needs 300 fonts? So I would love to know, everybody watching, as you know, we're live in the chat today. What is your favorite font? And do you ever get past B? Because I have a feeling, Sarah, we're not the only ones.
I have a feeling too. Yes, I think you're right. Oh my gosh. So, and then the other thing I want to highlight here is that there is a filter tool. So helping us to filter through, I'm a huge proponent of the filter tool in Artspira when you're searching for designs, like embroidery designs, cutting designs, whatever, because there are thousands and thousands of designs on here. So if you know what you are looking for, use the filter tool. So the filter tool is the 3 lines that are in the top right-hand corner there. And you can filter by a couple different things: languages, whether it's a free font or an Artspira Plus font, and then different styles. So for this project, we're using, busy patterns. I am going to select display for the style, because I think those will be bigger, bolder fonts that will be easier to read on top of the patterns that we're using. So apply, and here are, and again, look, A through B. There's a lot of good options right here. I don't have to go very far. I really like this bagel font, so tap on it. Once you see the check mark come up, that means it has applied it, and there you go. All right, so you can have a lot of fun with this. Also, I'm going to play around with the colors. So I can go to the color menu with my text selected, and let's make it a nice blue. And you might be thinking, Sarah, this looks terrible. It's blending into the blue of the pattern. But then my trick is to go to line and then give it a dark outline. And then you can see the text again, because I like to coordinate the text color to the pattern color, but then it blends in. But then you add an outline and you can see it. So anyway, that's my preference. But you guys can do whatever you want to do. Have fun with it. Get creative. So I'm going to keep adding. I'm going to do my initials next. And I'm just going to keep playing around with this. Am I going too fast, or is this all making sense?
This is all making sense.
Okay. Look, I'm going to scroll really fast, and we're going to go past the B and the C. Right. So
Sarah's going rogue on us. We're going all the way down to the E's.
So the blue crown is Artspira Plus, but you can see how many of these fonts are free to use. Most of them are free to use, which is great. Make it bigger. Okay, so the next tool that I want to show you, I'm going to change the color of this. Let's do like a brown. And the next tool I want to show you is the alignment tool. Talk about being a perfectionist. I want these initials to be center in my circle. So I'm going to the ellipsis or the more tools. I'm going to use multi-select. I'm going to tap on the initials that I just added and then tap on the circle. The blue box around it means that you have it selected. And then I'm going to go into the layout menu. And right here, we have all of our alignment options. We could align to the left, centers, align to the right, align to the top, align to the horizontal center, or align to the bottom. So I'm going to choose both of the align to center options. Align to center vertically, align to center horizontally. It was already pretty much dead center, so nothing really moved. But this is a really good way to just check that you're centered. And then let's do this one as well. So again, I'm in the multi-select tool. I'm selecting the text and the circle that I'm working on. Then I'm going into layout and I'm aligning both centers. That one moved a little bit. So now it's dead center in my circle and I can sleep at night. Okay. I'm going to add another name here. So
Sarah, you make this look so easy and fun. I'm just watching and it's like quickly, you filled all these with different stickers. Yeah, this is very cool.
It is really easy and I definitely have fun with it. There's just so much going on in this app. That's why I try to narrow down to, printing stickers and keep it simple. But even with that, I use so many different tools with the different projects that I do. So the next thing I want to show you guys is with this lemon print. This is really, really busy and the text is just kind of disappearing in there. So my trick for that is to add another basic shape. I'm going to delete my text. I'm going to go back to design and back to basic shape. Again, my favorites menu is going to be the first thing that comes up. I'm just going to go over to basic shape. I'm going to select the square. The square has been added. I'm going to tap on it. It's really big. I want to make this into a rectangle. And then we're going to make a band that goes across the circle here. That way we still get our pattern showing. And we could put our text in the middle, make it any color. It's super visible this way. So this is how we're going to do it. So I dropped my basic shape of square in there. I'm going to layout and I'm going to use these sizing tools here. Now you see the little lock symbol. That is showing us that it is holding the ratio. So if we were to change, let's make it from 3.86 to 3, the ratio is locked. So it changed the height and the width to 3 inches. Now, if we want to make a rectangle, we need to change only the height. So I'm just going to tap on that padlock and it unlocks. And then I'm going to change the height to 1 inch and we have a rectangle. I'm going to drag it over to my circle and I'm going to fill it. Let's fill it with, let's see if I like the blue of those leaves. It's like a really dark blue. And then I do not want a line. So I'm going to go to line and select no line color. And now that I have that added, it's not perfectly centered, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to add my text on top. And let's make it white. Can we make it yellow? We can make it a nice yellow. that looks great. So now you can read it really clearly and still see your lemon pattern. And we're just using, we're just using patterns. We're using basic shapes. We're sizing. We're using text. So I'm going to use my multi-select tool again. Text. I selected the rectangle and the circle. And then layout and center all of them. Ta-da! Love it. So easy. All right. So I don't want to spend too much time on this. Let's go ahead and send it over to the sublimation printer.
You can spend all day doing this. I'm just sitting here watching. I'm sure everybody else is too. Like, I would have never thought of putting that banner in there. Super easy to do.
Yeah.
Very cute, Sarah.
Thank you. It looks good. It looks classy. So, and I hope you guys, this is a great time for you to follow along while I'm doing this, because you can really get a feel for where all the buttons are, and you'll very quickly become as familiar with the design editor as I am. And it's a snap to throw together a whole sheet of stickers. And I'm really excited about this. So we're going to press done. I am not going to save this. When you are connected to your sublimation printer, the Artspira app automatically mirrors everything for you, which is so helpful. Thank you, Artspira app, because of course I would forget. I don't know about you guys. I would definitely forget to mirror everything. And you have to mirror it when you're doing sublimation, because we're going to print the sheet. Here's one that I have to show you. So it printed out mirrored. And because we're putting it face down on top of our sticker paper, and we're going to press it. And the sublimation ink is activated with heat and pressure, and then it's going to transfer over to our sticker paper. So that's why you have to mirror it. So let me show you the printer. So I'm going to just press print. And I have the printer set up right here so you can see it printing out. Now, I did not talk about the supplies that we need for this, but it's not too many supplies. So maybe I'll just switch over to the table really quick and show you guys those while we're printing. So we have, for the ScanNCut, I'm going to use my standard tack mat. This is good if your mat has been well loved, let's say, because we're also printing on sublimation sticker paper. And the sticker paper does have a paper backing to it. And the paper backing, if you have a brand new standard tack mat, the paper backing is going to rip. So if your mats are brand new, I would use a low tack mat. If your mats are very well loved, like mine are, you are safe to use the standard tack mat. So standard tack mat, also a brayer comes in handy to adhere the sticker paper to the mat. And on top of that, I have some paper tape to adhere the corners of the sticker paper. And then the sticker paper, again, this is just sublimation sticker paper. You can buy it from lots of different places. Craft stores maybe have it, definitely online. It's easy to find. And for the heat press, I have some heat safe tape so that we could tape it in place when we're pressing it. So it's almost done printing. I love this sublimation printer. I mean, it's so small, lightweight, easy to use. The supply.
It's so quiet. And you know, I just had some friends here and they were looking at this printer, and in the back corner, I've got this one and the Printmoda. And they said, brother, how do you make a pretty printer? Because they're so pretty. They put such great colors on it and everything.
So true. I mean, they have a whole on the top. They have all the, whoops, there it goes, all the colors. It's really pretty. And yes, really quiet. The supplies are very affordable. I believe the paper comes in packs of 100, and then the ink it's sublimation ink, but it looks just like your regular inkjet ink cartridges, same kind of cartridges. You get a whole set here. Let's look at my ink volume. Full. And I use this, I use this all the time. So the ink definitely goes a long way. And I mean, talk about making amazing gifts for people. The things that you can sublimate. I mean, I've made metal bookmarks, ceramic coasters, like custom fabric. It's just so much fun. Stickers.
A lot of fun stuff. Well, this is fun. I'm loving the stickers.
Yeah, me too. I love stickers. Just one warning from personal experience. I bought sticker paper like right away when I got the sublimation printer because I knew I wanted to make stickers. I bought the wrong kind. It was a transparent sticker paper. So the colors weren't as strong, and that was really sad for me. So be careful, pay attention to what kind of sticker paper you're buying. So the one that I'm using today is glossy white. So it does have a white background, which definitely helps to draw out the colors. So when we print it, it looks really dull. And I've had a couple of people comment to me like, something's wrong with my printer. The printers are coming out, or the colors are coming out terrible. It is going to look like this. And the color is going to be really vibrant once we add heat and pressure. So I have my heat press set up behind me. It's been clicking on and off. Hopefully it hasn't been too annoying. And I have it set. Pretty much any sublimation item that you buy, any blanks, are going to come with instructions on how hot to press it and for how long. So this is 390 for 40 seconds. So I have the heat set to 390. I have the timer set to 40 seconds. And then on my bed here, I have some butcher paper. So I'm going to put my sticker paper face up. And then I'm going to put my sublimation print that we just printed out face down on top of the sticker paper. I have some heat safe tape here. This stuff is amazing. So I'm just going to put one piece at the bottom and one piece at the top. I'm just taping right onto the butcher paper. It's going to peel off really easily. And this just keeps the sublimation paper and the sticker paper in place so that they don't shift and everything gets printed properly. And then I'm putting parchment paper on the top. I'm going to slide the heat press in place, lock it down, good pressure here, and then start the 40-second timer. And I can't wait to show you guys. They come out so good.
So Sara, for somebody who is totally new to this and they're thinking, okay, I'm a little nervous about that heat press. Of course, it's not a Brother product. You can do an internet search for good heat presses, but there's places in Artspira that tells you like what temp to use.
Yes, definitely. Artspira has a lot of educational videos and how-tos. And I think even when I sent that over to the printer, it comes up with tips on how to press. And there's like they have a chart on like what material you're using and how much time. There it goes. So yeah, and anything that you purchase, any sublimation blanks come with instructions. So it is really foolproof. And in 40 seconds, we have stickers. So let's do the big reveal.
Oh, I'm excited. Oh my. Those are so cool. So I give you a high five on that. I'm sure everybody watching is too, because this is very cool.
They look awesome. So super bright. That's what I was saying about the colors. The paper starts to curl a little bit once it cools off. So that's why I have all the tape. So let's tape this onto our ScanNCut. So by the way, I dropped it. By the way, we're using the ScanNCut to...
It's like my studio. There we go. We're done.
We're using the ScanNCut to cut out perfect circles because, yes, I could take my scissors and I could cut this out, but it won't be perfect. And it looks perfect so far. We've centered all the text. We've added these beautiful prints and made perfect circles. So let's just cut them out perfectly and, you know, do a good job. So let's get this onto our ScanNCut mat. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can accomplish this cut with the ScanNCut. So I'm using my brayer. But like I said, this mat is very well loved, so it's not super sticky, which is where my paper tape comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and tape the corners down. Like that.
No, and I just want to remind everyone, we're live in the chat today. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat and we can answer them later, even if you're watching the replay. But is there any special tape they should use to put this onto the ScanNCut?
So I just use like washi paper tape, stuff that's good for scrapbooking because it's not too strong. Like I try to stay away from clear tape or double stick tape because it might be difficult to get that off of your mat. But this like paper based tape is perfect. I've actually used these pieces multiple times. So you can see that they're still, you can reuse them. They're holding everything in place and they will not damage your mat. And then I'm just using the brayer again to like smooth everything out, reinforce it, but you can see it's kind of curling at the edges here. So I just want to make sure all of that is taped down. And I'll get one more piece here and then we'll pop over. So the first thing we're going to do is use the scanner that's built in to the ScanNCut. And we're going to have it recognize shapes on the page for us. So we're going to use the direct cut method. And then the other method I like to use because I don't really want this black outline in my stickers. So the other method I'm going to use is to just add a circle shape, scan the mat in, and line up the circle shape to cut out a circle that's slightly smaller. So I'll show you all that at the ScanNCut. Wake up. All right. I'm going to load my mat in. So I'm using the standard mat and the standard blade for this. So first technique is we're going to go to scan. And, oh, didn't select. There we go. And we're going to use direct cut. And then I'm going to select my ScanNCut machine. I can choose to scan in color or black and white. I think so far it hasn't made much of a difference for me because I just want it to recognize these big circles that we have. So it doesn't need to recognize color. So I'm just going to run the scan on black and white. So there's our scan. I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to crop in. So as best you can, crop out any pieces of tape that you have on the mat so that this is just telling the machine, I want you to focus in on the circles here and not the pieces of tape. So probably hard to see, or maybe not, but you can kind of see that there's a black circle around all of my circles here, which means the ScanNCut is recognizing them as circles. So it looks like it's doing a great job. I'm going to press preview. And those look really good to me. So I'm going to press OK. Now here we do have an option to offset the lines. So if I wanted to offset them so that the cut does not include that black outline, I could do that now. So I'm going to make it a negative, which means it's going to go inside the shape that it's recognized. And I could see the circles moving in 0.13. That's probably a lot. Let's make it 0.1 inches. And let's see how that goes. A couple other things you could do here. You could edit individual shapes. You could also select a totally different shape if you want to. So instead of doing a circle, you could change them all to squares. Some fun options here. All right, so I'm going to press OK. And there are my circles. So now I just need to tell the machine I want it to cut. Again, I'm using the standard auto blade. And I have half cut on. That's important here because we want the ScanNCut to cut through the sticker, but not all the way through the sticker paper, right? Because we want the sticker to be able to peel off of a solid piece of paper. We don't want whole circles to be cut out with the paper backing. So half cut is only going to cut through the top layer of sticker paper. And we can test that if we want to. I've tested this on my own. I recommend doing a test at home just in case. But like I said, I've tested this already. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Let me see if I can angle the camera down so you guys can watch it cut.
It's very quiet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know that this is a back to school theme, Sarah, but I could see creating some really cool stickers like this. What a great gift, you know, when you're putting them on the water bottle or putting them on other, I don't know, other anything really.
Absolutely. And I have, of course, created stickers that are not just for your name to go on it. I went ahead and I added all these different designs from Artspira. Some of them have been used already on the water bottle. And so I just, again, in the design editor, I just selected all different designs that are in the Artspira app that I liked. Just made a custom sticker sheet.
Very cool.
Like, look at these guys. How cute.
Oh, those are so cute.
And then with the ScanNCut, I did some of them direct cut. So here's like this flower. I scanned it in. I asked the ScanNCut to recognize it as a shape, and it cut it out perfectly. Same with my star here. Cut it out perfectly. And then other ones, I just chose like a rounded circle here, sized it to fit, a rectangle here. Just have fun with it.
Super fun. I would love to know in the chat, are you going to try this project? This is a lot of fun. We're not finished yet. She's just finished cutting.
Not quite. We're almost there. So I just took this out of the ScanNCut. And it looks great. So I'm just going to take this tape off here. Save it for my next sticker sheet that I make. All right, let's try this one out. Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's so cute.
So then you take your water bottle. I like to put the center down first and then smooth out one side and then the other. Try and eliminate as many bubbles as possible. There you go.
Oh, I love that.
So easy. These are vinyl, so I believe they're waterproof. I can't see why they wouldn't be. And then you have all your other ones. So if I wanted to cut more shapes with the ScanNCut, let me tape this back down and I'll show you guys one more technique with the ScanNCut before we wrap up. So let's say I wanted 1 or 2 smiley face stickers. Instead of having this big circle, let's cut out these little smiley face stickers individually. Just gonna tighten back up on this. Sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy. Okay. So I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna load my mat back in. And I'm gonna go to pattern. I'm gonna select the basic shapes that are in the ScanNCut here and select my perfect circle. You know what though? Well, I want to show you this technique. You can do the same technique that we did. All right, let me show you both. Sorry. There's so many ways you could do this. Let's do direct cut one more time. So same thing as I did before, but this time I'm going to crop down to those small smiley faces. So instead of cropping for the whole page, I'm just going to select the area that has these 2 smiley faces in it. Like this. Crop all the way in. Let's see if it recognizes these guys for me. Doesn't look like it is. I think I'm confusing it with the circle, the big circle on the outside. So that's okay. Let's do it this way. Back to the patterns. I'm going to grab a circle. And I'm going to size it way down. This is probably about 1 inch. I'm just guessing, but let's see. I'm going to scan my mat once more. Now I can see exactly where those smiley faces are. I can drag this over. It's my circle that I added in there is too big, so I'm going to edit it and make it smaller, smaller, smaller. Okay. Then I can use my zoom tool. Going from a weird angle here, pan down. Okay. Now I can see exactly where my smiley is. I can position my circle. And then I'm just going to duplicate that and position it over the purple smiley face using my zoom tool again. Should be able to drag it. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now I have those circle shapes positioned exactly where I want them. I can press OK. So you can see there's just those 2 circles down here that it's going to cut. Press cut. Half cut is still on, so I can start. And there are so many fun shapes in there. So here's that other page that I used. I did kind of a burst shape for this one.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and this is just one of the shapes that's in the ScanNCut. So the same thing that I did, I scanned in this whole paper that was filled with different stickers, and I just added shapes that I wanted to use and positioned them around the design. I used half cut. This one I did kind of like a, I don't even know what you would call this shape, but that's a fun one.
That's really cute. So Sara, while that one's cutting, oh, there they are. When you come back, remind me to ask you to explain a little bit about half cut, because we do have some people who maybe they're new to the ScanNCut, they're just starting with the ScanNCut, and just explain what that is.
Sure. So half cut right here, I'm going to get one of my weeding tools. Let's see. Okay. So here's my smiley face. Ready to go on my water bottle. So cute. So what half cut did is it cut out my smiley face and the top layer of the sticker paper without cutting all the way through the sheet of paper. So the sticker sheet is comprised of 2 layers. There's the sticker layer. I'm going to try to peel this corner. And then there's the paper backing. So when we use half cut, so see these 2 layers here? We only want to cut through the sticker layer and not the paper. That way we can just peel off our smiley face sticker. It makes it easier to peel away when the paper backing is still intact. And if you decide you don't want to use it, you can put it back on the paper and save it for later. But if you did not use half cut, it would have cut a hole right here. And then that would have made your life a lot more difficult. Does that make sense?
That's a good way. Life will be very difficult and complicated.
Exactly. I mean, that's a good motivator, right? Yay. All right. So I had a lot of fun with that.
Super easy. So again, we're live in the chat today. Do you have any questions? Because even though Sara and I are busy checking out all the new products, this one's very cool. And Artspira has really come a long way. I mean, you think about it. How many fonts did you say are in there?
Over 300?
Yeah. In case you're catching it late, when you scroll through the fonts, how far down do you get? Because Sara and I don't, I'm with Sara. I don't usually get past the B's.
Don't need to.
And you know, even you end up with your favorites. I love that you can save them as favorites, because even when I try to find something new, I'm like, oh no, I'm going back. I'm going back to the one I always use.
Oh yes, we all have our favorite fonts. So did I show you how to save the favorites? Should I show that really quickly?
Yeah, show that if you don't mind. And also, just because I know some people pop in late and they're going to ask this question, this will save them having to figure this out later. The sticker paper that you chose, you said the first time you chose it, it was not the correct one. This one's high gloss, did you say?
It's glossy white.
Glossy white.
The first one that I picked was transparent, not white. And that might be what some people want, but for me, I didn't feel like the color, it's almost like the color doesn't have anywhere to go. Like there's no white background for it to build on top of. So the transparent one, I felt like the colors that I sublimated on were really dull. And I love how these colors are super vibrant and I think they work really well. And if you don't want a white background, you can just cut out the white part. So I recommend glossy white sublimation sticker paper.
Perfect. Because I know somebody's going to roll in and say, I'm late. What kind of paper is that? And we got you covered. You don't even have to start it over.
Yes, and you don't have to make the same mistake that I did with the transparent sticker paper. I don't recommend. So printing, we'll go back into the design editor and just want to show you how to favorite your fonts. So go to text. I'm going to type my name and go to the font menu, select bakery, which is the default. And here you have your whole font menu of 300 plus fonts. So there are hearts on the right-hand side. You can see that I've favorited a couple of them. And then there's a tab at the top that says favorites. And so that's where all of your favorite fonts are saved. So if you're scrolling through, honestly, this is a great thing to do when your TV show is on a commercial break. Just open this font menu and like find some fonts that you like, save them for later. I like this one. So you just tap the heart. It turns blue if it's saved. Let's see. This is a nice script.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Sara, I was like, ooh, I like that one. You clicked it. Good taste, good taste.
And then on my favorites menu, I can see all of them. That is a nice one. Like that font.
Yeah, and got to go into the J's now.
Yes. So now next time you are doing a project, you don't have to look through all these fonts. You can go to your favorites menu and you can pick from the fonts that you are going to end up using anyway, right? Because even if we go looking for a new font, like you said, Angela, we always end up going back to our favorites.
Always.
And then the last tab here is a history tab, which can be really helpful. If you forget to favorite something that you really liked, you can go to your history tab. It saves not every font that you've ever used, but it saves all the fonts that you've been tapping around and playing with. And if you're like, oh yeah, I liked that one, let's see. I can favorite that one from my history menu. There you go. So you have 300 plus fonts. You have a favorites menu. You have a history list. Most of these fonts are for the free Artspira users. Some are Artspira Plus, but most of them are free. So fun stuff.
Yeah, and just before we go, I want to explain, because a lot of people I know are purchasing new machines. I've had people say, well, this Artspira work on any machine. No, it must be a Brother, and you have to have the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth settings to be able to do that. So when you're looking for that, the app is free, and so much of the content on there is free. So the one thing I encourage you to do is download the app to your phone or your iPhone or your tablet. iPhone, not a Brother product, but you know what I mean, your phone or your tablet. And just play around with it, because there's so many free things in there that you'll be amazed the creativity that you can come up with. Embroidery, printing, fabric printing, cutting. There's so much. And what I really like is I'm a visual learner, and I love all the video tutorials in there.
Yes. Lots of good videos in there. I mean, there's so much, like you said. And yes, definitely recommend downloading the app. You don't need to have your machine yet to look at stuff, use it. But yeah, any Brother wireless machine.
That's a good point. Maybe somebody's deciding, I don't know what machine I want to get yet, which ScanNCut, which embroidery machine. Download it and play. Yep. You won't be able to send it if you don't have the machine, but at least you can play and say, hey, you know what? I like this. I don't like this, or this is what I love. That's a great idea.
Yep, you could start saving designs that you want to stitch out when you get your new machine. There's Disney on there. There are project tutorials, video how-tos. I mean, yeah, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
So much. And if you want more tutorials, if you're watching on YouTube, this is the easiest way. Don't forget to subscribe, first of all. And when you come back to Brother Sews or Brother Crafts, but I think most of our videos are on Brother Sews YouTube channel, look at the top and click on live, because there's a ton of videos, but then you have to click on the live button. And what are we, episode 500 something? And we didn't even start counting for the first couple hundred. So there are over 500 videos for you to go back and binge watch. Sara's on many of them and always showing something fun and creative. And you do a lot with Artspira. So if you're looking for Artspira tutorials, go back and look up Sara's name in there, because you have a lot of those. And they're all great.
Thank you. I'm a fan.
Let me make sure I have Sara's website up here. Here we go. And if you have questions, even though we're in the chats, even if you're watching the replay, let us know where you're from and what you're sewing and what you'd like to see on the shows next. And if you have a question, Brother Social's awesome. They'll send them to Sara and I, and we'll answer them for you. So,
yes.
Sara, I can't wait to see what you come up with next month.
Yeah, next month we're doing print moda. So probably more Artspira.
More printing, more Artspira.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a great day. And Sara, let's go back in and see what's new that Brother's offering.
All right. Bye.